Am I being detained?
You are.
Okay.
Until I said you broke any laws,
Cordial?
I'm being polite and cordial too. So
Hey, today's video is not really to highlight this channel, even though it will serve that purpose too. And the channel's name is Rowdy Podcast. And I'm sure many of you all have already seen this. It was also highlighted by, I think, Natescape. But the point of the video today is when a cop unlawfully detains you, admits he's unlawfully detaining you, and then claims to be polite and cordial, and I'm sure he wants to be respected, but respect is out the window then. As far as I'm concerned, when a cop does that, if you're the type that once you've been disrespected, you disrespect them, then they've earned it. Rowdy didn't do that, but he could have. As far as I'm concerned, it would have been earned. Now, this cop knows that there is no crime. He also keeps speaking over Rowdy and just doesn't care. He's not a good cop. I'm sure he thinks he is, and if you look at him, he's not showing anger like some people do, but he's not happy. He is upset because he's not getting his blue butt kissed. Let's get on with the video.
recording our property, you're recording our building,
Sure.
and it's a security issue for us.
Am I being detained?
You are.
Okay.
Until I can get you identified.
And what's your reasonable,
because I want to make sure that you're
articulable
not doing
suspicion?
something that's a problem for our law enforcement community.
So in order to detain somebody, you have to have a law that you're investigating, correct? So which law are you, what law do you suspect me of breaking?
Are you looking to create a problem here for us?
No.
He's changing the subject because he knows he's wrong. And the only one here creating a problem is this guy here, this Officer Hinz, and I use the word officer lightly again, badge number 200, and he's from St. Louis Park.
No, not at all. I'm being polite and cordial.
I'm being polite and cordial too, so I'm asking
No,
you.
you're not.
difficult.
And you're going to admit pretty soon that you're illegally detaining him. Like I said again, unlawful detention is not polite and cordial.
So we can identify you.
I don't need to.
And be on our way.
Why would I need to identify myself?
Because I'm asking you to identify yourself.
What's your name and badge number?
My name is Todd Hinz. My badge number is 200.
Okay. Your name and badge
We're
number?
recording you just like you're recording
Good.
us.
Okay, good.
So,
Okay. Well, I mean, I'd like to be on my way to go. I mean, you have to have
so are you
reasonable...
refusing to...
You know, you saw that come across the screen. I think he's confused. No, he's not confused. He's trying to decide whether to escalate this now because he's upset. But at least he's keeping it under control, and he's going to call for help, call for a sergeant later. Anyway, let's go.
Identify yourself.
Well, there's no need to.
3916. Can we get
Are you a
something
supervisor? Okay. You just called for a supervisor?
I did.
Very good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet.
I don't have any ill will. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm
What's
not
the problem
armed.
with identifying yourself?
I don't need to.
You don't need to.
No, it's my right to not.
Oh, so you're looking to create problems is what you're doing.
No, you're just accusing me of that.
The
Absolutely.
only one here creating problems is you, Officer Hinz. You're the problem here. This man has the right to be on the sidewalk and video anything he wants to, and it does not matter whether you like it or not. So get your butt back in the car and go do your job properly.
Because you're refusing to identify yourself.
That's not against the law.
It's obstructing legal process if we have a reason to ask you.
What's your reason? I've
To
asked you that.
identify you. I just told you.
No.
And there's a lie.
But I asked
You're
you,
recording our property.
I have
You're
to identify
recording what we're
myself.
doing,
Correct. And I
and
have to
asked you
identify myself
yourself.
if you have
And you're
a
refusing.
reasonable,
I do.
articulable
And see?
suspicion.
Again, I ask you, is unlawful detention polite, being nice, or even be respectful? Not only is he unlawfully detained him, he's talking over him to interrupt him because he doesn't really care what this guy's saying. He only cares about what he wants and about his butt hurt, his ego.
Suspicion. And what is that?
You're looking to create problems, is what you're doing.
Is that what I'm doing? By just
that's
filming
my
and
opinion.
exercising my First Amendment right?
That is my opinion, yes.
Okay. Well, the good thing is the law doesn't go off your opinion.
But it does when you're obstructing our requests.
You
No,
can't.
it doesn't. This guy has got to have been a police officer for quite a while, and yet no stripes, and I'm wondering why. Because he's an idiot? Or because he's an a-hole?
You can request, right? But it's not a lawful order.
It is
No,
a
it's
lawful
not.
order at this point.
If
And as soon as my sergeant gets up here, he's going to tell you the same thing.
okay,
Okay? But you're not free to leave. You are correct.
I'm not going anywhere. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not like that.
All right. Nope, that's fine. So what's the problem with identifying yourself?
I just
You
don't.
don't have to. You
I just don't need to.
don't need to.
Yeah, I haven't broken any laws, and you just said you.
Nope, nobody said you
Well,
broke.
the bigger question is, what's the problem with not identifying? Since he doesn't legally have to, you haven't even got a reason to detain him. The problem is, again, ego butthurt cop doesn't like somebody standing up against him. And that's what's the problem with him. You can see it in his face, in his movements. He is not happy about not getting it kissed.
Any laws, I just said that your activity is suspicious to us.
Okay,
It's a
and is that a
concern for our-
misdemeanor or a
it's-
felony?
Listen, it's a concern for our safety and our.
I'm going to interrupt again. Remember, suspicious doesn't count for anything. Reasonable, articulate suspicion of a crime.
welfare.
And I'm not here to do any ill will. I've told you that.
We don't know that.
I've told you that.
You could be, who knows? I
Well,
don't
sure,
know.
but I mean, anyone going by here. Do you think I would be out in the
they're
open,
not all
just
recording
in the
our
middle of
activities.
daylight?
You're not recording our activities.
It's the
like
middle of
you
the
are.
daylight. I'm not hiding anything. I've literally hid nothing.
Believe me, people commit crimes in the middle of the daylight too.
So do
Fair
cops.
enough. Well, like you said, you're not
Sergeant, be
accusing me
ready.
of anything, which I get, and I appreciate you saying that. But that even more so, just
So do cops commit crimes in the middle of the day. And this one has just committed a crime because unlawful detention is a crime.
says that I don't have to identify myself. It's my First Amendment to film public officials doing what they do.
We'll see what the sergeant
Sure.
has to say here when he gets here. This gentleman's got a First Amendment right, he says, to videotape our activities around the police department, and he's refusing to identify himself so that we know who we're dealing with.
Okay, you don't want to identify yourself? Who you
Well,
are?
I don't need to. He said he doesn't suspect me of a crime or anything, and I'm
Okay,
just
I'm just asking.
No, but no, sir, I
Just
don't.
asking. Okay, we're good. Let's go.
Okay.
Have a nice
My
day.
name's John, by the way. Thanks. Take care, guys.
Cooperation, American.
What's that?
Now, does anybody believe this cop learned anything from this? He'll do the same thing again. His sergeant's not going to correct him later and say, hey, don't do that anymore. He'll just keep on doing it. But at least now, it's on video out in the open, and people know who he is and what kind of cop he is. And folks, he is not a good cop. Good cops do not let their egos get in the way. Good cops do not claim to be nice and polite and cordial when they are unlawfully detaining you, and when they know they are unlawfully detaining you, and he does know he's doing it. That's why he called, because he was hoping to get back up from his sergeant to cover his ass and arrest this guy. And it didn't work out for him. And I bet when he gets in that car and gets home later tonight, well, I don't bet. I'm just going to say this just because it's fun to say. He'll kick his dog and beat his wife and take out his frustrations. As we know, that spousal abuse is rampant in the police. We know a lot of other things too, but we won't get into those there. I just wanted to point out again that this kind of behavior from cops is widespread. God, how many thousands of videos we've got of the cops doing the same thing. And yet they don't stop. They keep doing it year after year after year. And this in itself is part of why people are mad and hate cops. and are on the street. It's not just killing people. It's not just beating people. It's not just tasing people, innocent people, all these innocent people. It's not just beating the crap out of people that are innocent because your ego is hurt. And we go, this is one of the reasons. When you unlawfully detain somebody and you are supposed to uphold the law and the Constitution, and you break it, you break that oath, you break that law, just for your own ego, it's unacceptable. And people are tired of it. I'm tired of it. I know many of you are tired of it. Except for maybe some of you cockroaches out there and bootlickers. Y'all will defend this guy. Y'all get in here and defend him and say what a great guy he is, and he did okay. And a couple of y'all will probably come in and say, well, when you need a cop, you're going to call a cop, and he's not going to show up. Hopefully he won't show up. Yes, up yours. Just a little reminder. When a cop does this to you, when he or she unlawfully detains you, and you get it on record, on video, that they know they did unlawfully because they admitted there is no crime, make sure you go file a complaint. That way the police department, if they deny your complaint and say it's okay, they are then on record. They support unlawful activity from their police officers. All right, I've ranted long enough. This is PNP News. Everybody be safe. I'm out of here. My boots are killing me. Take it easy. Bye.